next we will move on to the armors, which you can see here. I'll actually keep these on the ground so you can get a good look at them. This, I guess I can't really move it. Oh, there we go. This is no.
Well, actually, if you equip telekinesis, and then you can actually move it in the air.
No. There we go. Oh. Stop moving.
Well, I think the collider for that is just a sphere, so it's not going to work very well.
Yeah.
I think they're a mixture of spheres and boxes. Use telekinesis. Oh.
We'll get to that later. Anyways, yeah, there was that was the Bandit helmet. Now, one thing to mention is that even though it looks like we have just a bunch of stable outfits here, there's actually a couple different armors here. There's actually the Gladiator, the Bandit, the Mad Jock, and then there's the stable jumpsuit. The reason why is because we actually haven't made the world models for these yet, which are just what they're represented in the world space itself. Basically these things.
Yeah, when they are not equipped.
Yeah. However, they are not the stable outfits, to put that out there. They are different. But anyways, moving on here's the there's one helmet. Oh, actually I can show it off better in the Okay, there we go. Oh, actually.
And we have spiked horseshoes as well.
Oh wait, I don't. Oh, they're not. Oh, I think you done goofed.
What?
They are in apparel.
Yeah. Hold on, let me make sure they actually.
They are.
Well, no, I mean like they.
Yeah, they work. I just got a free moment on. I added them in. They don't actually do anything. They just sit on the hooves,
for those that, yeah, the horseshoes are actually supposed to be part of our unarmed weapons.
They'll be unarmed, yeah, but we don't really have any unarmed animations
well, no, we do
or
have
any
them.
system for that yet.
Well, no, we
do have them. I haven't seen them in the project.
I know that we have them, but yeah.
Okay.
Anyways,
they are very recent.
Well, no, they're old. It's well, okay, maybe not old, but well, they're there either way. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
There are a few things that we actually focused on, like on the unarmed weapon, is that they actually have to be small enough that they fit the Pip-Buck, which you can kind of see there. You can do this. There we go. Yeah, you can kind of see them right below the Pip-Buck.
Yeah.
Obviously, we needed to make sure that they wouldn't clip into the Pip-Buck every time that you equip them, so they are kind of limited in that sense. There's also a few other limitations that we had to go through, but we'll go into that like in a separate blog post whenever we get a couple more of these. But yeah, those are the spiked horseshoes. They're very spiky, and they are unarmed weapons, which I'll just leave them up there because, well, they don't really affect anything. Anyways, let's see. So the first apparel, we'll go with the Bandit armor. Which
you should probably equip the helmet as well. Yeah.
I did. Yeah. For those of you that like, this was actually created by one of our former 2D artists, Turbo Power, which some of you in the Fall Equestria fandom might actually know him, have seen some of his work. He's pretty active on DeviantArt, but he had to leave our team for personal reasons. Anyways, yeah, this is the armor. It's pretty standard, kind of Mad Maxy. She's not really sure what she thinks about it. Doesn't like the attention.
Shifty eyes.
The helmet is pretty much just a normal. I wouldn't say bicycle helmet. It kind of looks like a bicycle helmet, but it's kind of a motorcycle helmet, I guess.
Like the very old type ones, when there were no regulations.
Anyways, moving on to the next. This one's probably everyone's favorite. This is actually one of our first Raider armor that was created. Well, okay, maybe not the first, but it was one of the first. This is our Raider Gladiator armor, which you can kind of see what the reason behind the name there. Which, yeah, this is the Raider armor. It's pretty cool. You can kind of see the clip-clops, impenetrable clipboards there. There's another one there, but the lighting kind of ruins it. But yeah, this was designed by our 2D artist Prism, and made by our 3D artist, Mr. Jimmy. Now, actually, something like in terms of this this armor is actually something that is a rule whenever it comes to all of our armors. Is that you may notice that gap in the top there. The reason for that is that all of our helmets also need to be like usable by our Earth ponies, which, as we know, use most of their weapons in their mouths. So things like this cage on the front there, well, that would block the weapon from being usable. So whenever Earth ponies equip these weapons, at least in terms of this armor, the helmet will actually have the front part of it angled upwards, so that, you know, they can equip the weapons just fine. There's actually a couple other armors that I'll get into that do the same thing, but yeah, this is, yeah, you can definitely see that there was quite a bit of effort put into this.
Yeah, personally I especially like the shoulder blade spikes thing.
Yeah, which another thing you might notice is the actual horn hole right there.
Oh yes. Which will magically disappear when an Earth pony wears it.
Yeah. That was kind of something annoying to deal with, which, yeah. You can also kind of tell that the head piece had to be pushed back a little bit for the horn as well, which that won't change for the Earth ponies. It will stay the same. Anyways, moving on to the next is the Magic armor, which just uses a normal hockey mask for the face piece. But yeah, you can also kind of see the inspiration from this, which was actually a very old style American football padding and whatnot. You got the front sides, which obviously in America we don't have the spikes on them. What? No, actually, I think more modern. I'm pretty sure the modern ones has the spikes, right? Yeah.
If they don't, they should.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, you can see the spikes, has the shoulder pads, is a sort of, well, I don't really know the netting. I guess it was just because why not? And then you got the padding on the side, and the mask is, well, it's just a hockey mask. Again,
yeah, and with that, it's again with the like mouthpiece that you can like easily remove. So
I think this actually it either goes to the side or it slides down. I'm not sure which, but either way,
there was a bit of an argument about it. I remember.
Either way, the point is that it gets moved out of the way one way or the other. You can't really tell, but the helmet also had to be designed so that it could conform to the horn. You can kind of see it wrapping around it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Let's move it on to the next. Let's see. Here's our just normal stable jumpsuit. I originally wanted to have the full body jumpsuit, but certain drag master here didn't like that.
There were other people as well, but yeah. And
a nice view of the ass right there, with the ass mark, which isn't there for some reason. Hamish. The ass mark.
Oh, cutie marks. Oh, yeah. Cutie marks haven't worked in a long time.
Yeah,
all that
effort worked for wave 3, hopefully.
All that effort put onto them. But for those of you that didn't actually read the post back in the day, we actually had pretty much one guy make our cutie marks, which are completely hand painted, pretty much. Well, not traditionally, but Photoshop hand painted. And he spent probably at least 2 months trying to get a crap ton of these things just pushed out in a very small amount of time. Eventually, we had a couple other 2D artists that were free enough that could also help him out, but for the most part, almost all of our current cutie marks were created by him in a span of only like a very short amount of time. And yeah, blame Hamish there.
Indeed.
Let's moving on to the next. This is the maintenance suit, which actually does have a full body, obviously, because, you know, you don't want to get your coat all messy and greasy from those maintenance jobs. You can tell that you guys are very enthusiastic about this sort of stuff.
Indeed.
But yeah.
Yeah, it does have like.
Yeah, it's.
I liked how the details on this one, because like with all the like papers and other stuff on, and the notepads on the pockets, and then the tool.
The knee pads as well.
Yeah, and the knee pads, and then the tool thingy on the right hoof.
The tool.
I can't remember words.
Screwdriver.
Anyways, moving on is that, as you can see here, like we made a post before about it, but this is actually our Pip-Buck. It has the typical 3 buttons, which we wanted to try to make bigger so that, you know, it fit with the hooves. I'm pretty sure we talked in pretty detailed descriptions on why our decisions were for the Pip-Buck, and sort of whip shots of it as we were going through it. But yeah, the design was created by our 2D lead again, Jeff. The model was created by Fire Warrior and Naka, and I think the texture was done by Jimmy, so it was kind of a mishmash of people there. And the actual screen here that you see here was completely designed up by our 2D artist Shinoda, which he did one for pretty much every single menu you see here.
Yeah. The one thing to point out is that pretty much everything but the items is not like actually working there. Like it's just all placeholders. Like all the stats you see, like they are just stuff that were put in there. Like they don't actually like correspond to anything. Totally not my note.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, I know that a lot of people, whenever we first showed it off, were kind of disappointed on how, well, clean it is, and eventually we do plan on making it, well, a little bit more like it's back in the 1950s. We'll probably actually reduce the resolution for everything a little bit, so there's a bit of a blur on the edge, so you don't get this like
not necessarily a resolution, but more like there are shaders that we can use for that like plan. But
yeah, basically you want the banding effect, really. You want it to make it look like it's an actual CRT display.
Yeah.
I said this idea that we should take inspiration from the Vectrex and that sort of thing, and make it look like it's actually being drawn by like a CRT beam, like an old terminal sort of thing.
We'll see when we get to that point. Like
anyways,
it's a polishing stuff.
Even the background will be changed a little bit to make it, well, less just black. But
yeah. And the color as well won't be white.
As you may have like Drag said, a lot of the features don't work yet. Eventually they will. One very interesting thing that I want to bring up right now is it's honestly not large enough to really add into a whole blog post by itself, but the actual description system, we definitely are planning on adding quite a bit of effort into that alone, because we wanted to go back to the old RPG sort of gameplay, where there was a lot of quests and a lot of lore that you would never have even seen unless you just read the descriptions on things. And we were even going to have a section for even just monsters and all that. That's still subject to change, and we're still determining on how it's going to be working. But yeah, like the description for weapons and all that, we and even the quests, we wanted to add certain little tidbits that you would gather just if you opened up the description screen, which that will eventually pretty much just take up this whole section right here. This will be expanded, I think upwards, or it'll just be right like
upwards,
this.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, either way, like this whole thing will be replaced by the descriptions. I mean, I think we even talked about having very basic images in the descriptions. Maybe, I'm not sure. We're
possibly,
still
like we'll need to see like how we want them to look exactly and so on.
Yeah, I've actually been very excited on that, because I've always kind of liked the whole lore building whenever it comes to that. Cause I know that a lot of games, whenever they do really in-depth descriptions, they go into the very finite points that you wouldn't really want just in the game because it really isn't that big of a deal. You know, things like on how a weapon might work, how people view things. You know, hell, I mean, one thing that we actually mentioned is that for the base descriptions for things like the weapons and even some of the armors would be based upon where they came from. So, for example, the 10mm pistol was actually the standard issue pistol for the Equestrian Forces. So it would have a very formal, almost like, well, a very formal description. Kind of like someone that's in the military just wanted to make a description for the Pip-Buck because, you know, maybe there was some soldiers that were using it or something, but yeah, like he just added it in. It's a very formal, or hell, maybe someone at Stable Tech who was adding in these descriptions, he just went to their equivalent of Wikipedia, found a description for it, and just copy pasted it into the description system. While as something, say the short-barreled shotgun, which is a civilian weapon, it would actually be more styled as an ad almost. I mean, we actually might eventually even have like maybe some kind of competition for that. That might be kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
Like making the base descriptions for these, but yeah, I mean, we definitely wanted to have a different style for them, which I've been going on for like these just that descriptions for long enough. We're done to move on to the next sort of kind of weapon system is our magic system, which we'll start with the magic missile.
We should probably look at some other enemies as well because we've only done rad rushes
Yeah,
so
we'll
far.
go over here. I want to save the other enemies for a specific spell since you can't really survive without it. Anyways, yeah, these are our bloat sprites. They're just kind of globs of goo. One thing you might actually notice is that the aiming for at least the magic missile is not even close to being perfect. It's kind of above the yeah, it's actually quite a bit above it. I think I'm hurt.
I didn't code that, so you can't blame me for it.
I can still blame you. I mean,
I guess I'm the head programmer, so it's kind of my fault.
I'm getting
but
killed by
not-
these
not
things because
entirely.
this.
Yeah, the magic missile does like
There we
very
go, I
little
killed
damage. Yeah.
Uh,
You might want to try getting an upgrade.
I'll probably die before I can even equip it, which
Oh, okay.
yeah, that
Because the Pip-Buck doesn't pause anything.
yeah, that's
So, yeah.
we actually had an entire video on that. So if you guys want to read up on, oh my god, like, oh, I fucking died from the equivalent of bloat flies.
Well, I think they're. Yeah, I think the projectiles do like 30 damage or something, which is a tenth of your health.
Well, honestly, that's not even that much. If it wasn't for the fact that the armors don't actually have armor yet.
And I'm back, I think.
Yeah, for those.
We didn't even notice that you were.
Well, no, I noticed it. It was just I was kind of continuing on without him.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah, Drag
So what
has
did that miss?
just terrible European internet, so he's been kind of going in and out.
Hey,
Well,
I
no,
have
usually-
even worse European internet, and I'm fine. But my microphone
Usually-
keeps.
Yeah,
Usually
but
my-
you
my
live in
internet
England,
is like-
so it's a little bit more free than in Finland, which I'm pretty sure are just communist or something.
Well, no, we actually have very good internet, like especially in the capital area that I'm living in. I usually have no problems with it. I don't know what's been up with it like tonight.
Anyways, upgrading from there is the laser upgrade, which again is a little bit over the thingy. Let's see if we can actually hit
Yeah,
something.
which actually, like, I don't know if Amy's already had time to tell this while I was handling my internet issues, but like it was, it used to be like on the spot, but one of our programmers decided that he wanted to streamline the equations of it a little, like how the aiming and stuff is handled, and he left out one crucial part that basically.
Really, I thought. No, I thought he just didn't have time to do it properly. At least that's what he told me.
One other thing that I actually noticed is that the laser upgrade actually is probably the only weapon that has force applied to it. You can actually see it pushing them.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. I mean, the bullets can have force applied to them, but I think they're all set to 0 or something,
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, it was because... It was disabled because every time you went up against anyone, you would get pushed back, like, very fast.
Well, anyway, since these guys don't really care about me too much, I'm gonna make sure that this horribly rendered well here is fixed up. I'm just gonna weld it a little bit.
It's made of wood, though, so
You-
you just set it on fire.
Well, obviously not. It's made
Don't question the logic.
Yeah, needless to say, these spells are going to be... They're gonna have a little bit more damage to them other than this. I mean, it's kind of like in Pokemon, you have a, let's say a Dragonite, you know, he charges up his Hyper Beam, sitting there, just freaking annihilating this goddamn Jigglypuff, and it just faints.
Yeah, you should also show it in third person.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. It looks pretty cool. Like, it comes actually from the horn.
Let's see if I can...
Yeah.
Go.
None of the effects are final. Most of them are just placeholders.
I do think that this laser looks very awesome, though. I think we should keep
I would say that we
we have
apply...
plans for it.
Yeah,
If you say so.
We've actually had a problem where Drag would go onto the Unity store to look up particle effects, since we don't actually have a particle effect artist, since they're kind of a rare breed to come by. But yeah, he was looking up particle effects to buy, and he would end up spending almost 3 hours just going through them. It's like, oh, this is just so amazing. Imagine like a girl going to the mall shopping for clothes. That's Drag on the Unity store.
Yeah, and then I link those particle effects to you, and like you repeat the same thing.
It's like, oh man, this one's so
No one
nice.
makes
Like, I mean,
particle effects.
this one looks nice, but you know, I don't quite like how it's made. And I mean, this one's a great price. I mean, it has a deal on it. I mean, we could get like 2 for 1. I have no idea what's going on right there.
What's happening? Oh, you're just in third person.
No.
but like
It was tripping out. I'm pretty sure I seen my ass in first person for a moment there.
Oh.
Anyways, moving on to the next enemy, which is a little bit bigger of a deal.
Did you already show the other spells?
No, there's one last one that I haven't shown for a specific reason, but that's because you have to use... Okay, that was weird. You have to use it for these enemies. Anyways, the next one is the shield spell. It's pretty standard, which I actually should grab a gun real quick. Grab the... I don't know what that was.
What was that?
Pretty sure that...
What was?
Pretty sure someone's dinner is ready. Anyways, there's the assault rifle. And here are the protective ponies.